Hello and welcome. In this reading, we are going to talk about what it is that is holding us back, what it is that is keeping us from being able to move forward, and what we can do to change that. So let's go ahead and ask Spirit, Universe, God, Goddess, Divine, whatever it is that you work with, and say, hey, tell us what it is that's holding us back. What is it that we're doing that's keeping us stuck in a place where we're not happy? Oh, this card really wants to come out, so do these two. All right. Extremely slow long-term growth. So that right away tells me that we are going through a period of transformation and patience is required. I say this lovingly. I myself have just had to go through years of extremely slow long-term growth. But the story I like to remind people is like every season has a reason. So there's the spring, summer, fall, and winter. And when we're in this really slow long-term growth, it's a reminder that as you're growing right now, even though everything's not visible, everything that you're going through is not showing up in being shown on your external world, you're still just digging roots deeper. You're digging the roots deeper, just like how it happens in winter. The trees are still growing and you don't see the growth, but when the springtime happens, you see them being beautiful and more flourishing like than before, and you're going to be the same way when your springtime comes. It's just right now we're in that really obnoxious, slow, long-term winter growth. I hereby grant you the power to make me unhappy. So what I love about this card is it's totally being sarcastic. It's totally one of those where it's like, you are the one that's giving people permission to make you unhappy. And it's kind of that reminder where it's like, well, no, I didn't give them permission to do, the thing that they did. No, you didn't give them permission to do the thing that you did, or they did, but you did give them permission to affect your mood, because it's up to you. They don't decide whether you respond to things negatively or positively. You decide whether you respond to things negatively or positively. So, for example, if I get called a bitch, I don't care what the person's intent behind calling me that is. For me, it's always a compliment, because I've decided that word to me is always a compliment, because whenever I get called it, I'm getting called it when I'm in the right. I know it every time. I don't even doubt it. Other person hearing that word can make a decision that it's the end of their world, depending on who it comes from. The thing is you're the one that decides what your reaction is to whatever a person does to you. Think about it this way. When you were like 5, and someone said, ooh, you have cooties. Okay, that probably made you feel really gross and weird because, you didn't have cooties and you got all caught up in the drama. Now someone tells you have cooties, you're just like, whatever. It's the same difference. Same exact thing. Whatever someone does or says to you, it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to have a response to it, if it's going to affect your emotions, if it's going to affect anything other than you. What are the things you care about? It ain't always going to be the dirt. Okay, this is a beautiful reminder. This goes extremely well with the extremely slow long-term growth. Because honestly, what are the things you care about? It ain't always going to be dirt. I love how that's worded. It is so true. And it just points to prove that, as I was saying, what's happening under the surface can't be seen. It is under the surface for a reason, and then eventually it grows and sprouts in its own way. So trust the process. Keep watering. Keep doing the thing that you're doing. Spirit is 100% here telling you things are happening for you. Oh, this card is beautiful. Me, also me, also me, and also me. So this is just shows the different phases of who we are. These are all the same person. They're just different sides of that same person. There's, the shadow side. There's the light side. There's the gray side, where most of us live in. And then there's the happy side, which is us being our weird self out for everyone to see. This person is probably the hardest one for us to be because it takes the most courage, but that is the most authentic version of ourselves. And that version also encompasses these 3 other versions too. They're all there. It's just one of those things where you have to realize that, yeah, you are a multidimensional person who has a lot of things going on inside. And while you're working out all these things, just be the best you that you can be, whatever face of that is right now. Just be yourself. Alright, let's ask the tarot cards exactly how, not that we can accelerate, because we can't. Extremely slow long-term growth And what are the things you care about are telling us that whatever this is that we're going through, it has to happen organically. It has to happen naturally. But what can we focus on during this organic natural growth time to make things a bit easier for ourselves? What tools and resources can we pull from to make this more bearable? All right, 4 cups in its reverse position. This is beautiful to see because this tells me that yes, you have your dream, you have the thing that you're going after, but now you're starting to remember the mundane. The mundane is the unfortunate but necessary things that we have to do, like dishes, laundry, self-care, paying the bills, going to work. Like, it's not fun, it's not great, but those things are what's going to help carry us to that dream that we have. So this is a good reminder that right now, it's not going to be exciting. It's not a time of exciting growth. It's not a time of like, thrill moving forward and I'm going to see everything happen really quickly. This is something that we have to work for and we have to take one step at a time. And that includes working with the mundane. Then we have the hangman, or woman as this card is. And this is one of those reminders that, what you're going through, you're never going to come back from the same. The story I always give to this is if you're walking in your kitchen, you slip on a banana peel and you're underneath your kitchen table and all of a sudden you see a giant crack in your kitchen table. When you get up, the fact that you know that there's a giant crack in your kitchen table is never going to go away. It's just up to you to decide whether you're going to do something about it. Oh, we have 5 cards. I thought there was only 4. Ooh, the Magician. So this is a reminder that you have all the tools, that you have all the resources, that it's just up to you to keep doing the thing that you have to do. And yeah, that's going to feel repetitive sometimes, and it's going to feel like you've already done it all. It's going to feel like, I'm over here just doing the same thing. But remember, it's not always going to be dirt. So keep watering the things you care about because they're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to manifest. The Empress. Oh my goodness, we cannot get enough about growth in one reading as we are now, because that's what the Empress is all about. She's all about fertility, growth, being, spiritually guided, having, spirit, universe, God, Goddess be at your back and holding you forward. This is one of those things where, like, no matter what you do, you have everything you need. You literally have the tools and the resources. It's just a matter of moving forward. Oh my goodness. We got the World. Okay. So whatever this is that we're moving forward from, whatever this long, extremely slow, long-term growth is, it's going to be something that once you're done, you're done. Because when you get to the World, it's one of those things where you don't have to re-go through this experience again. You don't. It's done. So understand that while this is slow and this is one of those things that feels uncomfortable because, slow growth is uncomfortable. When we're doing work and we're not seeing, results, when we're not seeing, the changes that are happening, it feels painful sometimes. But know that you're not going to go back. This isn't a fad diet that you're working through, okay? This is a life change that you're making that's going to tell you that, hey, once we complete this, we don't have to redo it. It's in place. It's done. And take that as your thing to help you move forward. Take that as your solace to keep watering the dirt. Keep that as your solace to keep doing the mundane, because the mundane is the watering of the dirt, and get you moving forward to understand everything's happening, everything's growing, and I got this. So now I'm just going to ask Spirit to help us understand, what actions that we can do if we're maybe a bit uncertain about, what's going to help us continue this slow, long-term growth. And, what exactly we need to do to water the things we care about. Because it's easy to say, water the things you care about. But what if you just aren't sure how to obtain it because it feels out of your reach? So let's get the cards on that. Cards are being stubborn again. And maybe that's part of this. Maybe the fact that my cards are being stubborn is showing that, maybe the problem is that you're being stubborn because you want things to be done in a certain way. And that's okay. We're allowed to want things in a certain way, but sometimes we need to trust and let go. Magnetism. Okay, so this is beautiful. So this is a reminder that as you're working through things, you're magnetizing the things that you want to come to you. This isn't something that you have to do. You don't have to do the magnetism. You just have to keep being the person that you want to be, and things will come to you. All right, perspective. And I love how perspective looks like the Empress. Like, that looks like a pregnant stomach. Looks like she's creating things. Perspective is one of those things too where it's like, this might feel long and painful if you see it as a long and painful process, or you can turn around and say that this is going to be one of the greatest journeys of your life. You can turn this around and saying that this is going to be a huge transformation, that this is going to be a total victory, that you are going to just, make this beautiful thing. Your perspective is going to be what makes this fun or what makes this feel like torture. And then we have all surface. So this is a reminder that not everything is going to happen that's going to be on the surface. Sometimes you have to look a little deeper. Sometimes surface level stuff is not going to be what it takes to keep moving forward. Surface level stuff is easy and it's fun, but it's not what's going to be needed in order for us to continue on this journey. All right, let's just ask for a few affirmations to pull us through on this. Because no matter what I ask for, Spirit has not given us one thing to be like, yeah, just focus on this or focus on that. Spirit has been pretty much, okay, that card. Spirit has been pretty much saying, like, you know what you need to do. Just do the thing and stop seeking external validation pretty much. So let's just pull one more deck full of affirmations and see what we get. Choose compassion for others and for yourself. So that's important because as you're going through this, you're going to a lot of times fall in old habits and you're going to find yourself doing things that are things that you felt you should know better about, things that shouldn't be in your behavior or your repertoire of coping mechanisms, and that's okay. What matters is that you give yourself the compassion and understand to say, okay, I might have messed up this time, but I have the ability to know how to do better. You are not required to be happy all the time. Okay, I love that because that kind of just falls in line with what I was just saying about having compassion, because there is going to be times where you're going to get it wrong. And because you're not happy, don't think that, oh, I'm upset or, oh, I'm angry, I'm falling back. No, that's not the case. You can still move forward. There is still growth happening during the sadness, during the anger, during the tired, during the, sometimes desperation. There's things growing during all those things. Happiness is not showing a growth. Happiness is just, a part of the actual growth process, but it does not, designate how much growth you've gone through. Be open to experiencing love at any time. So what I love about this is people are like, oh my goodness, I'm going to find my person. Well, no, that's not exactly just that. This could be any type of love. This can be unconditional love from yourself. This could be you, feeling love for the first time from, spirit source. This could be love that has everything to do with somebody else in a romantic way. Or this could be love in a very platonic, safe way from someone that you were actually surprised that, wasn't there to help you. Allow yourself to open up to love at any time so that way you can receive and you can be love at any time. You are exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. So I love and hate this card at the same time because I get tired of hearing this a lot, that I am exactly where I'm meant to be in the moment. I can't tell you how many times I want to chuck this card across the room. And it's like being told divine timing at the same time for me. Like, I hate that phrase too. But it is also reassuring that, a thing to remember that my path is unique and it's different and it's not similar to anyone else's path. That my path might be an inspiration for someone else, but it's not fair for them to compare their journey to my journey because we've had two different starts and experiences. We've had two different growth things that we've had to grow through. A walnut tree does not compare itself to an oak tree. They just both grow and bloom in their own ways and versions, and they're both beautiful. So it's not fair to compare yourself when we're all different. Through honest expression, you can create new connections. Okay, so what I love about this is the first time that Spirit has been like, hey, here's something that you can do. Honest expression. Now that's different for everybody. For me, honest expression is typically done through journaling or what I like to call creative expression with my pencils, and I just make something that a 5-year-old can make and it works for me. But, honest expression can be anything. It can be verbal, it can be written, it can be, just you being in your garden. Whatever your honest expression is, it's honest to you and you're the one that's going to know that. And last but not least, we have now is the perfect time to turn your wish into a reality, which is exactly what you're doing. You're doing it in the exact way it needs to happen. You're doing it in the exact way that it's meant to happen. And you just have to trust the extremely slow long-term growth process and continue to water the things that you care about, because it's not always going to be dirt. So yes, this reading has been all about patience, all about continuing to trust. It's been all about doing what you're already doing and knowing that it has a purpose and that it will eventually turn into something. It will turn into something. Just trust the process. If you want to talk about being aggravated about doing the same thing over and over again, hit me up in the comments and we can commiserate, because I'm right there with you. If you want a private reading where we can get more information about what you personally can do to help this process, click the link below. There's a link in the description for private readings. That is all I have for you today. I thank you so much for joining my reading, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.